Alright, guys, I am back with another episode of What If Naruto Was Meliodas' Reincarnation. And Tyler Ray, you've really been wanting this, so I'm gonna try and make this an hour. So, last time we left off, Naruto saw two doors, one labeled Kurama, the other Meliodas, as he doesn't know which one to go through. So he just decides to go to his right, and he goes in the door that says Meliodas. And he's walking down a long, dark hallway where he sees the end, and he sees this guy sitting down next to a campfire type place. And he walks up to him and asks him who he is, and he says, "My name is Meliodas, the demon sin of wrath." As Naruto is confused because he doesn't know where he is either. So he asks this strange man, "Where am I? I've never been here before." As he says, "Well, you're in your mindscape, Naruto." As Naruto's confused on how he knows his name, so he asks him, and he tells him that he's his reincarnation, and I've been watching your entire life, so that's how I know your name. And Naruto starts getting a little mad because he says, "If you've been watching my entire life, then why didn't you help me?" And then he says, "Well, that's because I did help you, but only in times where you needed it the most. So when I was healing you against those three bullies, and a couple of other times, but you probably don't remember them. You probably think you blacked out." And Naruto remembers back to when he was saving that girl from the three bullies, and he couldn't remember anything because he blacked out. So he says, "That was you?" As he says yes, and Naruto says, then why do I keep blacking out every time you help me?" And he says it's because your body can't handle it, and I have to take over. As he explains to Naruto about his world, the seven deadly sins and the 10 Commandments, the fact that he's the Demon King. Yes, Meliodas is the new Demon King after he offed his father. So Naruto is starting to absorb all this knowledge and everything as we go to a different part of the mindscape, as it doesn't have a door to it, but the person in there can see everything going on in the mindscape. As he says, "This is interesting. I've never seen someone like this before." As if you're wondering who this is Ashura, obviously. As he decides to go out of where he is and appear right next to Meliodas, as he explains to Naruto and Meliodas that who he is and who his father is. The fact that Naruto is the chosen one to stop the cycle of hatred and everything. As Naruto's is really confused now. So we're gonna do it about 1 day time skip as they as he woke up after them telling him everything he needed to know. He woke up, and he was still outside, and he got up, and he walked right back to his home, and he saw that it was Naruto and Mito's birthday, because he forgot that it was his birthday the next day. So he just walks upstairs as we see Tsunade and Jiraiya, as well as Elizabeth, all coming in as Naruto went back downstairs to get something to eat. As, well, not to get something to eat, to make something to eat, because they don't make him his own food. And he saw Elizabeth, and Elizabeth saw him, as Elizabeth ran up to him, and they hugged, because they've known each other for about 2 years. So all the adults except for Tsunade are confused, as well as Mito's confused, because this is her first time meeting Mito. And as they started talking, and I'm gonna say that Mito wanted to ask them that if they know each other, as she started walking up to them, but Minato said, "Stop! You can't go over there. She must." And he reminds her about the lie, as Tsunade is confused and worried about this. And Jiraiya is very confused, so, because Jiraiya and Tsunade, well, this is the first time Jiraiya being in the village since the Nine-Tailed attack, and Tsunade's been in the village after it, and they're both confused on why they just told a lie to Mito. So after Mito couldn't hear them, they asked Minato and Kushina why they lied to her, and they explained that what the villagers and the Fire Daimyo wanted a law to go past, if not Danzo be the Hokage of the Leaf, and they said they have a plan to get Naruto back and everything. So we see Elizabeth and Naruto talking, as Meliodas chimes in and says, "That's Elizabeth," and in Naruto's head he says, "Who?" "Yes, that's her name." And Meliodas explains to him who Elizabeth was, as we see in with Elizabeth's perspective, she's being told by, well, Elizabeth who she was and who Meliodas was at the same time, as they both kept it to them. So cold in here. Alright, so they both kept the information to themselves because they didn't think the other knew. So they just kept talking like normal. So we're gonna do, there's 7. We're gonna do a time skip till they're in the academy. I would say the academy starts at 10, so 3-year time skip. And Naruto is walking down the street toward the academy, and during the 3 years, Naruto's been training every day with Meliodas, as he has gained a Meliodas type personality. A Meliodas type personality, as he's read a lot of Jiraiya's books as well, as Meliodas has too. And Meliodas, we see Meliodas in the Mindscape just reading the Jiraiya's book, saying this is pure art. As Naruto is walking, and he is also reading Jiraiya's book like Kakashi would. As speaking of the devil, Kakashi walks right past him, reading the same book as him. As they both see each other, they nod, and then they walk away. I don't know what the interaction was, but I guess good taste, I guess, I don't know. As Naruto gets to the academy, and he walks in to see Iruka, Mizuki, and a couple other, and some students, the Kona 12, as well as Mito and Elizabeth. And he goes in there, and he sits next to Elizabeth. As everybody introduced themselves, and after that, they didn't fully introduce themselves. Like, they just said, my name is Naruto, my name is Elizabeth, my name is Mito, my name is Shikamaru. Yeah, you get it. So he says, alright, and I'm gonna say afterwards, they're gonna do a spar to see where everyone is currently. Well, no, a little test to see where everyone is. So they go outside, and they give some kunai and ask them to hit the target. It doesn't matter if you miss or you hit it. As most of them miss. Sasuke, he got 3 out of 10, because he was still a kid at this point. He wasn't training as hard because the Uchiha massacre hasn't happened yet. So we see Naruto going up, and he says, so a passing grade would be all 10. As he says yes, and he grabs all 5 shuriken and all 5 kunai, as he threw them all at the same time, as they all hit the target. And Iruka is impressed. Mizuki is mad because Mizuki don't like Naruto. So we see Mizuki steaming over there. He's like, in his head he's like, I doped those out for a reason. He couldn't have that much strength. Maybe Iruka switched them. And that's what he thinks Iruka had switched them. He didn't even know if Iruka did or not, but he thinks Iruka switched them. So I really hope Deb was recording my audios this whole time. But he thinks Iruka has switched them. And he was waiting for the next part where it's a spar against the students and Mizuki to see how long they can last. As the spars go pretty much like this, everybody is getting out like in 3 minutes or less, except Elizabeth. She was able to last 5 minutes because she was trained by Tsunade. She doesn't have perfect chakra control yet because she's 10, but she was able to last about 10 minutes. Well, no, she was able to last 5 minutes. So Naruto goes up, as Kurama says, "You ready, kid?" As he says, "Yeah." Now, if you're wondering why Kurama's talking to him so casually, because during the 3 years, he decided to go in the other door, the door named Kurama, because he didn't know what it meant. And when he went in there, he saw the Nine Tails, and he asked for his name, as he said, "You're the first person ever asked me that. My name is Kurama." So that's how they became friends. And so we go back to Naruto getting in the sparring circle, as Mizuki plans to absolutely humiliate Naruto. So he's gonna go Chunin speed and strength. So when it starts, Mizuki disappears, as he kicks Naruto in the stomach, because Naruto wasn't even expecting Mizuki to go full strength, to go all out. So he stopped. He didn't kick him back. He just kicked him in the stomach. But when Naruto was able to hit him once, he used Combo Star, and he continued to attack him, adding 200,000 pounds of force with every punch. And let's just say that hurt a lot. Toward the end, he felt like he was getting hit by a mountain. And yes, you heard me right. I said Combo Star, Derriere's commandment ability. He has the abilities of the Ten Commandments, just because I'm gonna say Meliodas absorbed the Ten Commandments and he kept them. So that's why he has the Ten Commandments abilities. So toward the end, Mizuki was out, and he got taken to the medical center. And Meliodas used his telepathic ability to talk to Elizabeth. That's how they talk, pretty much, because they both have that ability. And they're talking about how they all did. And Naruto says, "You should join me for training sometime." As Elizabeth says, "Sure." So, and she does have the earring, because I'm gonna say it was Mito's earring and it was passed down to her. So now Elizabeth has it, and they decide to. I really hope that was recording my audio. So they decide to go, and they the next day, because it was a Friday, I guess, I don't know, they had the day off the next day, so they go for training. Naruto up here goes there with a sweatpants and a shirt, I guess, and Elizabeth shows up with some sweatpants and a shirt, I don't know, whatever you work out in, and they started to work out, as Naruto does a regimen, kind of like Guy, as he runs around the village 5 times, and Elizabeth was only able to do it 2 times because she hasn't done it before. So then they do 1,000 push-ups each. I'm gonna say she has enhanced strength because of the angel genes, and I'm gonna say that while they were training, toward the end of training, this person from the cloud comes. Yes, there's a team from the cloud that the team that wanted to kidnap Hana was from the cloud. So I'm gonna say they want to kidnap Elizabeth. So while they're working out, they jump down, and they say, "Come here, come with us, girl." As she says no, and she gets behind Naruto, and Naruto is pretty mad because because they're trying to take her, and he activates this form here, this demon mark with the wings, as he turns the wings into like swords or of some sort, and he also puts darkness swords on his arms, as he put darkness swords on his arms, and his wings stayed the same as he flew up, and he started cutting all the Cloud Ninja into pieces, as he stops, as there's no sign of them, because every time he cut them, he wanted to destroy the body, so there's no evidence. As Elizabeth had her eyes open this time, so she saw it, and she was confused, as Elizabeth, inside her mind, told her about how Meliodas was a demon and he had control over his abilities. So he must know that Meliodas is in him. Meliodas must have been training him. That's how he used Combo Star against your sensei. And Elizabeth doesn't know what Combo Star is, but Elizabeth in her mind does, because she saw Combo Star twice in action. Well, not twice in action. In the Holy War, the first one before they were sealed for 3,000 years, and the one when they were after they were sealed for 3,000 years. So they decide to tell each other that they know that Meliodas is reincarnation of Naruto, or Naruto's the reincarnation of Meliodas, and Elizabeth is the reincarnation of Elizabeth. Really interesting, huh? So they became closer because of it, and we're gonna do another time skip. About when they're 12. Yes, graduation day. Actually, no. I'm gonna make graduation day when they're 17. No, they're gonna be 18. I don't really care. Naruto's gonna be as short as Meliodas, and Elizabeth's gonna be as tall as Elizabeth. And Elizabeth now looks exactly like this. So if you understand, you understand. So they decide. Minato decides that he wants to make sure Naruto's happy, because now he's about to become a ninja. So they do the graduation exams. Naruto passes with flying colors. In the fight against Sasuke, when Sasuke shot a fireball at Naruto, he just used I'm pretty sure it was called Trickster. Yeah, Trickstar. He switched himself with Sasuke, as Sasuke was in front of the fireball, and he got burned. So Naruto won that match. They think he used substitution, but he didn't. So after that, the next day they go back for the team assignments, and they go, and all the teams are the same, pretty much. All the teams are pretty much the same except for Team 7. It's gonna be Sasuke, Naruto, Elizabeth, and Mito. And I know I haven't been talking about Mito a lot this whole time, and Mito has pretty much been sad all the years because she had to not talk to her brother. But she was told the night before this that the Nine Tails stopped being in control of Naruto, and that you can now talk to him because he's now a ninja in the civilian council. He didn't do anything to a ninja because it would be considered treason. And the Fire Daimyo doesn't have, I'm going to say he doesn't have all the power over military forces because that's the Hokage, but he does have all the power with the civilian and some power with the military. The Fire Daimyo has no say in war either, so after all of that, they get placed on the teams, and Sakura gets placed on she gets placed on no, I'm gonna say she failed. Forget it. She needed to be a ninja, and all she was is smart. So, and Tsunade doesn't need a apprentice, so she would just be smart for the entire series. So, no, I'm not gonna put her in it. Actually, tell me if you want me to put her in it, Tyler. I know you will. So, they get placed on a team and as their team senseis are going to be Kakashi and Kushina, actually. So, oh gosh, I got the pause, but yeah, their team captains are going to be Kakashi and Kushina. But then they decide to Kushina dragged Kakashi there because he decided to not want to go on time, at least. So she dragged Kakashi there as they were all there, and they say go up to the roof as Naruto used Hellgate. This is a power that that allows the user to create portals, such as summoning demons or traveling, or communication. But he created a portal up there, and it's faster than the body flicker technique. So they got there. So Elizabeth and Naruto got there before the rest did. And so Kushina and Kakashi were both surprised that they got there before they did, because they used body flicker. So after that, they do the introductions. Pretty much Sasuke does the same thing. Naruto doesn't do the same thing. He says something about being the strongest ever, and confessing, as Elizabeth says something about confessing, and also wanting to be the strongest Kunoichi. And they both said they like hanging out with the other. And I don't know, Mito said what Naruto said in canon. So that's what happened. Also, the Uchiha massacre, that already happened as well. So Sasuke is the Avenger still, and they decide to tell them that the next thing they're gonna do is the next day, and they said don't eat or you'll puke. So they decide. So everyone except for Naruto and Elizabeth to the training ground the next day as they are waiting there for Kakashi because Kushina got there on time. As about 2 hours in, Kakashi still wasn't there, so she body flickered to Kakashi and body flickered back with Kakashi as um, he says there was a black cat in my way, so I had to. There was a black cat crossing my path, so I had to take the long way. As Naruto giggles a little bit, you know, the Meliodas giggle. As I'm gonna say this here. This is Naruto's ninja outfit. I know it looks odd for his ninja outfit, but yeah, that's gonna be his ninja outfit. So I'm gonna say it's this with I'm gonna say yeah, I'm gonna say it's this with those little black things in the middle. The buttons instead of is gonna be the 9 symbols for the Stage 6 path. So that's what that's gonna be in the middle. They don't know what it is except for Elizabeth. She knows. As currently, Naruto is at 184,000 as a power level, and Elizabeth is at 80,370. So they both are stronger than Kakashi and Kushina. Kakashi and Kushina are both a power level of 5,000, as Minato is a power level of 15,000. So they say that this is a bill test, and they show them the bills. There are still gonna be there's gonna be 3 bills, yes, because there's 4 people on the team. Kushina has one of them because she hasn't been a ninja for a long time, and Kakashi has 2. So they say when you're ready. When they set the timer, and the timer was set, and everybody disappeared except for Naruto, as he took out this scroll that's behind Naruto and saved it in 6 path stage mode. He took the that scroll that's behind him out, and it's not the ceiling scroll for the toes. It's scroll that holds his sword, this giant broadsword. That's the sword that he has in there. He takes it out as they're confused on why he has a scroll, and they say you're not gonna run. As the point, and he says the point of this test isn't running, it's about teamwork, as he's opening the scroll up. As they say, well, you figured it out, good job for you. As he starts unsealing the scroll, as Kushina pulled out her 2 swords, and Kakashi just had an eye on him because he didn't know what was in that scroll. He for all he knows, it could be a scroll to seal both of them. So instead, a giant poof erupted out of the scroll. So there's a bunch of smoke, as they think it's a smoke screen. So they stay on guard. But when the smoke cleared, they just had Naruto have a giant broadsword in his hand, looking just like this. He has the wings on his back and the demon mark. And they say, this is interesting. As Kushina says, where'd you get that sword, Naruto? As he says, "It's mine. I made it." Technically, he's telling the truth. Technically, but he has some help from a from a craftsman. And if you're wondering why I'm not giving him his sacred, no, if you're wondering why I'm not giving him his holy relic sword, I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. I haven't watched some of in a minute, but it's because I couldn't find a good picture of Meliodas with it, so that's what I'm gonna give him this one. So he disappears from their lines of sight, and he brings his sword down on Kushina, as Kushina blocks it using her sword, and Sasuke uh, Sasuke is pretty mad because he didn't think that he could hold the sword like that. So Sasuke's pretty mad. He's just waiting for his time to strike. As Naruto already used Trickstar to get the bells, but he has the bells in his pocket, and they were replaced by rocks with a genjutsu over them to make them seem still like the bells. So he just wants to fight the two. And Kushin says he has great strength, as I'm gonna say, Kakashi also brought his Tonto with him. So they all started getting a sword battle. Naruto getting a little pushback because there's two of them against him, and he's not going all out yet. So he decides to use critical. No, he wouldn't do that. He decides to use disaster. He uses Spear Bastias, and wraps the two up, and he wraps their legs up using the Spear Bastias. And if you're wondering why, it's because it's the Fairy King's ability, pretty much. One of his abilities have to do with the Spirit Spear. So I have to give it to him. Why not? I'm not gonna give him the giant sunflower or anything like that. I'm not gonna give him any of those. He's just gonna be able to use the part where it's vines and stuff. So unless you want me to give it to him, then I'll have to raise their power levels. So they're wrapped up as they see Naruto coming at them, about to chop both their heads off, as they use substitution and substitute with a log, as he cuts right through the logs, and they're gone, they're hiding, as he uses critical over, and they don't notice it at first, but all of his muscles start getting bigger as he disappears. He's running through the entire forest trying to find them, as he finally found Kakashi, as he brings the sword down, and it's much faster because he has a lot of momentum, because he was riding around the entire thing with a sword behind him. So he was bringing it down, as Kakashi felt like he was about to die. So he uses his Sharingan, and uses Great Wind Breakthrough, and he hit Naruto with it, as Naruto flew back a little bit, and he went back toward Kakashi, as Kakashi substituted with Elizabeth, as he was about to bring it down on Kakashi, as he substituted with Elizabeth, and he stopped instantly before he hit Elizabeth. Elizabeth was a little scared, and because he just saw he was about to hurt Elizabeth, because Kakashi substituted with her, let's just say he was mad. He was mad. So these wings, yeah, they're gone, and it was replaced with assault mode, pretty much. His clothes stayed on, I just thought I should let you know. Clothes did stay on. And he disappeared. And he put his sword back in the scroll as he just started beating Kakashi to an inch of his life. As he then he used full size and grows bigger than Kakashi and hits him. Well, he hits him with a punch that knocks all the wind out of him and breaks 3 of his ribs. As Kakashi's out, he's out like a light. All right, I had to do it. So then Kushina saw what happened. She thought she was tripping because she thought he got bigger than he actually was. So she started running at him as she she was about to cut him as he used Hellgate to teleport her to Elizabeth. As Elizabeth uses power of creation, yes, that's a supreme deity skill, to create her own directions, her own dimensions separate from the main world. She uses that and puts Kushina inside of one of those alternate dimensions as Elizabeth and Naruto disappear. As Elizabeth uses Flash, Tornado, Ocean, and Sunshine in that alternate dimension because I want to give her Flash, Tornado, Ocean, and Sunshine because why not? And she uses Flash and cuts Kushina up with tornado like drills, and she uses Ocean as she did that while she was underwater drowning. So then the Ocean disappeared. She stopped using Tornado and Flash as she uses Sunshine, Cruel Sun, as she brought down Kushina, and she didn't use enough to kill her. I'm just saying. So she just used enough to hurt her bad. And let's just say they both were out. And they went back to the main world as they took both Kakashi and Kushina and tied them up to the post as all of them started eating. So also Naruto took the bells out. He cut one of the bells in half, gave the 2 whole ones to Sasuke and Mito, and the half ones to himself and Elizabeth. Kind of like a half heart type thing. I don't know, but it's half bells. So they're all. So when Kakashi and Kushina both woke up, they were both surprised that Naruto was able to get the bells from him in the first place, and that Kushina was really confused. She thought she was in Genjutsu, so she just shrugged it off, but she's gonna tell Naruto about that. So they go to, Kakashi and Kushina, they go to Naruto's office as they tell him about what happened, and that Naruto and Elizabeth both know a very high level Genjutsu from her, because that's what she thinks it is, at least, because she didn't have any injuries on her when she was done when she woke up, because Elizabeth used her healing ability and healed the 2. So she thought it was a Genjutsu because it was a little too good of healing. Even Tsunade couldn't do that good of healing. So it's 44 minutes so far. I'm trying to make this an hour. So Minato decides to note this down for later, to ask them about it, as I'm gonna say that Naruto and Elizabeth were at Ichiraku Ramen, I guess. I don't know. No, they wouldn't be at Ichiraku Ramen. They would be somewhere else. Because Taiuchi and Ayame, I remember his name now. I was so tired last night, guys. I cannot believe how tired I was after rewatching it. After rewatching the redo and the first one I did, the audio was horrible for the first one, and the redo I was just tired. So hopefully this is better. I really do hope this is better. So, especially for you, Tyler. I know you can't wait for the next part. So, they decide to go to some food place that allows them in, I guess. So, they then got done with their little date, because, yeah, they're dating, I guess. So, they decide, Elizabeth goes back to her house, and as Naruto's walking back to his house, he, gets there, and, he opens the door, just expecting for them not to say anything to him, because, like usual. So he just starts walking, and they saw him, and they say, Naruto, as he stops, and he, rubbed his ears, and started walking again, and then, Kushina says, Naruto, come here, as he turns around, and says, you're talking to me? As, they say, yeah, so he goes back down, curious on why they're talking to him, and they sat down with Minato, Kushina, Mito as well, and they were talking to him, and they said, we're so sorry for what we had to do over the years, as they explained the law that they had to make so Danzo didn't become the Hokage. As Naruto says, just stop, I don't even care, because he hasn't really cared ever since he met Elizabeth. So that's why he was really mad when those people from the cloud were trying to take Elizabeth. So he I hope this is recording my audio. So he then decides to just walk away, go upstairs, as Kushina was crying along with Minato, Mito, as well, Minato and Mito. So they were all crying, as after they were done crying, Kushina went to go check all the family pictures, and they saw there were no family pictures of Naruto in there ever since he was 4. And after that, it just cut off. She tries to remember anything that Naruto likes, except for Elizabeth, very obviously. So she tries to remember his favorite color, everything like that. But she just went back to the scene of what happened to Kakashi, as she remembered Naruto went in some kind of darkness form. So she went to go tell Minato about that she thinks Naruto is a Keki Genkai, and Minato is confused on what she means by that, and she explains to her that, she explains to him that he had went into some dark state when when Kakashi body switched himself with Elizabeth, while Naruto was bringing his giant sword down on him, real too fast for him to move, and he body flickered. Well, no, he substituted himself with Elizabeth, as he was really mad that he went so berserk on Kakashi that he's probably still in the hospital right now. Even though Elizabeth healed him a bit, she didn't heal him all the way because she was pretty mad at him. So he's in the hospital. He'll be fine for the wave mission, I guess. Speaking of the wave mission, everything happened toward canon. They had to catch the cat for the fire daimyo a lot, as instead of Naruto going out and say this is stupid, it's gonna be Mito. She says this is stupid, and she says we deserve a higher mission, Dad. Stuff like that. And Urufu was in there. He said, no, Naruto and Elizabeth may be able to handle a higher mission, but everybody else, you just graduated. I'm gonna say Mito, instead of graduating dead last, she graduated in the middle of the class because she's kind of like Naruto, but she still has some training from Kushina and Minato. Minato asked Kakashi and Kushina if they think they're ready. As Kakashi looks at them, as he looked at Naruto and Elizabeth, and he got a chill going down his back as he says yes. And he says, and Kushina says the same thing, as he says, you can bring him in now. As they see a guy come in that's drunk, has a beer bottle in his hand, a sake bottle, I guess, and he looks like he's an old man. So then he starts. This old man then starts to insult them all, saying that Mito looks doesn't even look like a ninja. He looks like someone you'll find trying to run away from ninja. As that's kind of true, kind of, because she was also a bit of a prankster like Naruto in canon. So, and then he called Sasuke emo kid, and called Naruto a stupid, serious looking one. As that's really true as well. As he had some smart to say about Elizabeth. Like, he was drunk. If you understand what he said, then you understand what he said. Naruto got mad as Naruto had his sword in his hand, and he cut the bottle, the sake bottle that the bridge builder was drinking, as he got scared because Naruto was in assault mode, looking at him like that with those eyes. He didn't even care when he insulted himself, when the bridge builder insulted him, but he cared when it happened to Elizabeth. Also, I don't own this art. It's from this person here. I can't say that name, I'm sorry. So, they decide to, they tell Naruto you can't attack the client, as, let's just say, Tazna became super fast. Yeah. So, they decide to tell the bridge builder if they're gonna help him, you can't assault them like that. So then the next day they embarked on their mission to the wave. As they were walking, as Naruto is strong. So he, I'm pretty sure it's called patience or something like that. Ground increases. So he has a good connection to nature. This is the giant ability. Um, Droll's ability, I'm pretty sure. So patience, it's a ability that increases his connection with nature and even cancels out the abilities of others. So if he tries hard enough, I guess. So since he connected to the ground right now because he's walking, and they're not running, and they're not tree hopping because Tasma can't do that. So he's connected to the ground right now, and they're walking as he senses two signatures coming from a little puddle as he uses a curse, and he curses the two demon brothers, as when they came out and they threw their chains, they ricocheted off a tree and they hit both the demon brothers. It's just a curse of clumsiness, I guess, to make themselves take each other out. So, as Kakashi says, that was easier than expected, because he sensed the two before they came as well. So then he decides to say that that was interesting, and he was looking at Naruto because he knew Naruto did something to him, but he doesn't know what. So he decides to get knowledge out of the two, and he tortures them to get the knowledge, as they said that they were hired by Gato, and that there's going to be someone else coming after you, and he tortures them a little bit more for them to say who it is, as they say it's going to be dang, I just had a mind blank. I was literally Zabuza Mochi. It's gonna be Zabuza. As his eyes widen, as he walks back over to his team and says, "This is an A rank mission, not a B rank mission." As he looks over at Tazuna, and he says, "Why'd you lie to us?" And Tazuna explains that his village is very poor, even before Gato came and took everything they owned, money, and that even their nobles have very little money, and they're paying for the bridge to be built. So that's what God is afraid of, because the bridge being built, Ninja from the Leaf can easily have access to the wave. So he then says, "That's why I had to lie to you." As Kakashi looks at his team and says, "We'll have to either call for backup or go back." As Naruto stood up this time, and he says, "I'm not going back." And Elizabeth says the same thing. So does Mito, and Sasuke just says, and we all know what that means. That means he wants to stay. So yeah, that's what they're gonna do as they keep walking, as they feel the mist start rolling in, as they start getting on guard, but they keep walking, as I'm gonna say Mito hears the bunny as she throws the kunai at it, as it hit the bunny, as they saw what the bunny was. It was a snow rabbit, as they said, as Kakashi said, it's the middle of spring. The only way for a rabbit to be a snow rabbit is for it to be taken care of inside, as he senses something it says duck, as they all ducked along with Naruto, and they see the sword going over them. As they got up and they looked over at the sword, and they saw none other than Zabuza Momochi. As I think that's going to be a good part to lead us off. Tyler, I'll make the next part very soon for you, but I hope you enjoyed this 1 hour video, guys. Please like and subscribe and I'll see you guys tomorrow.